Hello everyone, this is Warren from the Rhapsody Piano Studio. Welcome to today's live piano lesson. We're going to be working on Habanera, and this is going to be an arrangement for the intermediate pianist. Okay, let me fix this real quick. Yeah, I want to get like a permanent setup one day, but you know, it's better to get my stuff out there, right? Okay, so that's not straight. Okay, in any case, you can find the, make sure you pick up the sheet music, and you can use the video tutorial, and it's in the cards, you know, after this live stream. Make sure to pick up some sheet music and use that to study and follow along. Okay, so just gonna get right into it. Do the whole thing from the beginning. Haven't really touched this in a really long time. Basically sight reading today, so don't judge me. One second, let me check up. All right, we're still good. Okay. All right. There's Habanera from Carmen. By the way, this is from, I believe it's Fun Time or Big Time Classics in the Faber Studio collection. So they have the single sheets and also the entire book if you want to pick that up. Okay, 1 second, just gotta check my internet connection here. It's really bad. Calm. All right. It's very weird. All right, and we're back. Okay, so let's break that up. I think I flubbed the part in the beginning, so whatever. We'll go back and look at it. Beginning first page, it does start in D minor. I'm not going to really analyze or anything like that too. But if you enjoy that type of thing, I'll try to give you that information as we go along. Here's the intro. That's the first part I would practice if needed. Next part. Okay. Here we have like a minor 7th chord. So this is 5, 5, 5, and then I'm doing a 5, 4, 3. You can hear that chromatic. Make sure you want to bring the top out. And here, measure 7. We have triplets. You gotta make sure to really make those as accurate as possible. So you can divide it, you can subdivide it, maybe thinking 4. I feel this in 2 beats for this entire piece, but you know, if you practice things like triplets in measure 7, I would recommend subdividing it. So you, instead of doing 2 full beats, you're gonna do 4 beats, like 1, 2, 3, 4. Just so you can, because if the danger is if you make this into 1 beat, you're gonna make the whole thing into like a quintuplet or something like that. So you gotta make sure to practice 1 beat at a time. Really making sure that is as accurate a triplet as possible. Okay, so I'm gonna play that for you one more time. So we're doing measures 5 to measure 8. Now here, also triplets here. Now, interesting, right? I said to subdivide it, but when you're doing, if you look at measure 5, those triplets, which are quarter note triplets, don't subdivide that, because you're gonna do 2 beats on 3, like, that's what your metronome's gonna be doing. Instead, you know, you can just do 2 full beats for this one. a lot easier to make those come out. Hope that makes sense to you guys. All right, here we go. That's one part you would practice, okay? And then here we have the thumb on B flat. It's okay to play black keys with the thumb, all right? Let's put that together from the beginning. Here's how it goes. And I'm taking it a little bit slower, by the way. Okay, so you've heard that. Now let's try it together. 1, 2, ready, go. Pianissimo in the beginning, make it as soft as possible. Okay, and then the rhythm is pretty simple with the left hand. It's pretty much like that throughout. The only part where the left hand changes in that rhythm, if you look at measure 5, I'll try to get a little technical here. The rhythm is, we have a quarter note, then we have an 8th rest, and another 8th note to the 3rd beat. It's a mouthful, right? But if you look at measure 5, instead of doing that, they're asking you to play triplets, right? So let's see if you can hear the difference. Here is with the 8th rest. Now if we're doing triplets, it's very subtle, very slight, but so that's one thing to be careful about. Anyway, let's move on to the next part. So measures 8, and I'm skipping the repeats. You can take it if you want. Measures 8 to, what measure is that? Measure 13-ish, I guess. All right. Okay, so the rhythm and the triplets, same idea. So it's for me, it's like the thing that makes this piece is that rhythm. So you have the rhythm in the left hand, then you have those triplets in the right hand. That's what gives this piece its flavor, in my opinion. Okay, all right, let's break that down. Let's play the whole thing. Or that part, right? We're just gonna do one hand at a time. Here's the right hand. Sorry. Nice staccatos. Really make those staccatos distinct, clear, and let them come out, okay? All right, so let's try it together. Ready, and... Okay, measure 13, like, you know, how I would practice this, if you practice just a jump. So this is like a little hack, a little technique we call just playing slow, moving fast. Make sure you feel the keys underneath your fingertips, right? So I would just practice this. You do so much, you just, you know, get to the point where it's muscle memory. So practicing that little leap right there, okay? All right, anyways, let's look at the left hand, 8 to 13 as well. Sorry. And actually, you know, I'm going to take back what I said about those triplets. It's very similar. So honestly, I don't know what the original piece sounds like. I don't think they're going to make much of a big deal with that. So, you know, whatever. All right, let's do that together. Left hand. Ready, go. Okay. Good idea to practice the left hand because the changes are so subtle. You can easily miss a beat here and there or a note here and there, okay? Here's both hands. See that jump? Like, I don't even need to think about it. But it's something that you need to think about, practice it until you get the muscle memory, okay? I don't like this angle. Here we go. I think that's better. All right. Let's try it together, both hands. Here we go. Ready, go. Okay. Now, I would go back and then you put that whole first page together. I'm not going to do that to save time. All right, here we go. Measure 13 from that portion, right? That's the third beat, measure 13. Here's the next part. All right. And I'll play up to there. That is measure 21. Okay. Now here, have you guessed it? What's happening here? Here's the beginning. Modulation, right? We're changing keys. Okay. Cool. We're going from D major to D minor to D major. Okay, let's break that up. Let's do one hand at a time. This is measures 13 to the middle of 21. Sorry. Missed that. Sorry. Okay, and I actually thought of another way you could practice it. You could just do every position like so. Plus you could hear the that chromatic figure a little bit more. It's a little bit more obvious if you do it this way. Just play those chords. Yeah, that's a neat way to do it. And then was in measure 17, it does this. Another easy way to practice that. Another simple, effective way to practice, I should say. Okay? All right, let's do that together. Right hand, here we go. Ready, go. Let's try, all right, let's do the left hand now. Same place. Measures 13 to beginning or middle of 21. Whoops, that came out a little too loud. Okay, all right. Yeah, like I said, when you're doing the triplets and the eighth beats, I kind of want to go back on what I said. Like, don't worry too much about, like, is it triplet or is it, like a dotted eighth, like rhythm or anything like that? To me, it's not a big deal in my opinion. All right. Okay, let's try it together. Left hand, ready, go. Now, if you're looking for something to make it sound more expressive, add another dimension to this. This is kind of like an advanced tip. All right, make sure you bring the, what is it, downbeat, first beat, right? And then make these lighter to really emphasize the rhythm. Bum, ding, ding, bum, right? Okay, let's try both hands. Let me play for you one more time. You hear how it kind of lands? Bam, right? Something like that. And you make this short, really gives it more character. If you make those sharp, it kind of gives a nice character from the. When you're doing the triplets, don't make those staccato, right? And then staccato here, right? You gotta make those, definitely a contrast there. You gotta make sure that comes out, okay? All right, here we go. Let's do both hands. Ready, go. I missed that. Ready, go. Okay, so that's that. That's the next. I kind of put that whole section together. This pretty much what happens in the first page. It's just a different key. All right, let's go from measure 21, the beginning of measure 21. See how far this goes. You could stop it there if you like, but I'm going to keep going. Okay. What's important here, I think, is the dynamics. It's really hard for dynamics to come out on this piano. That's why I play everything louder, because the keys are hard to, you know, adjust for. But I might make these piano, because keep it up, still piano. Because we have a subito forte, all of a sudden forte. If you don't make that piano come out, that's going to lose its impact. All right, let's do one hand at a time. Here's right hand. Okay, let's try that together. Ready, go. Okay, let's do the left hand here. I don't really think we need to do this. This is the same pattern. The only thing that happens in measure 25. Actually, it's the same harmonic pattern. It's just this. So in my opinion, you don't really need to practice that. Okay, let's go back. Let's do both hands again. Okay, let's try that together. Remember, piano in the beginning. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, now here to the end. No, I would definitely divide this. All right, let's go from measure 29, see how far we go. Another piano right there. Hear that? Pretty cool. And then, you know, you could break that up, but because I mean that's the definite finale. But it's just only 2 measures, so why not practice till the end? But if you wanted to, you could just, these last 2 measures, you could practice in more detail. Okay, but you know, I'm gonna do that. Actually, on second thought, yeah, we're going to practice the 2 measures as a separate section, the last 2 measures. Okay, from here, you know, I talked about with getting those dynamics because you want that forte to have impact. What happens right after that? That's why it's doubly important. There's another piano right after, subito piano. Let's do one hand at a time. Stop right there. Now, look at measure 33. We have a grace note. So, anytime you have a grace note, definitely recommend taking the grace note out. You can do this with ties and all that too. If you have a hard time counting ties, you just take the tie out, practice it without the tie, then put the tie back in. Same thing here. Take the grace note out. You want to take the grace note out because what happens most of the time on my students, they do this. Totally messed up the rhythm right there, right? So practice it without the grace note like this. So you get that timing down, then you could add the grace note in there. Now, one thing about the grace note, it's a decoration, right? So you don't want to put too much emphasis on it. The emphasis should be on that beat. This is just la-da, la-da, right? I don't really know what the good directions for practicing that. Just watch. I'm like barely touching that, right? And just almost like no tension at all. You see my hand? It's like that. Just enough to get contact because it's going more towards that G. Right? You can even practice this. Actually, here's another good hack to really practice this on a sound level. Play both notes and try to get more the emphasis on. It's not really hard to do because the thumb is just such a thick finger anyway. Get more sound on the thumb, less on that. And then put the grace note. It's kind of like that. Got it? Okay. Anyway, that's what's going on there. All right. So this last part, what is it? 29 to 36. Let's just do both hands. Because the left hand, again, you don't need to practice it because it's the same pattern. All right. Let me play for you one more time. And a little, they do have some accents right there, so take a little bit of time to really bring out that accent if you want. I'm probably missing some here and there, to be honest, but whatever. Okay, let's try that together. A little slower. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, now here is the last part. So definitely take some time right there if you heard this song. Right, da, 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 bum. They're really milking this here. It's like, because it's the finale before. You know, it's like the last two measures, right? But here, because imagine if you're singing this with a voice. That's a really, another interesting thing too is listen to a lot of singers, like classical singers and whatnot. Because it will, you know, if you're looking for moving on to the, going up to the advanced levels, just playing with expression, right? So we want to make this sound like we're singing as much as possible. One thing that really pianists don't really do as well is when they do jumps, this is something like you're trying to sing, they just play it in time. But if you sing it, try that, go it's you can't do that in time. It's like it's really hard to pull off. So what most of the singers you will come across do, da, 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 da. Whenever you have these big leaps, they have a leap of a 6. They take not a lot, but enough time to really hit that note. Okay? All right, so let me play for you one more time. Fermata, so take some time. And then here, the little, we have triplets, but they're 16th notes. So it's got to go by fast, and you got to be right in tempo right there. So you can practice that, right? Sorry. 1, 2. So making sure that you get the rhythm right there. Just take a metronome out and then practice that last part in time as much as possible. So, you know, when you go back to measure 36, you're not taking too much time with those. In tempo, a tempo, okay? Here's the last part again. I don't think there's really, I mean, there's a wrong way to do it, but I think if you're just doing something like that, there's a lot of different ways you can do this, all right? But not that last one, in tempo, okay? Let's try it together. Ready, go. Okay, hope that makes sense. All right, let's wrap things up for today. I'm gonna play the whole thing for you one more time from the beginning. Hope you have a deeper understanding of this piece. But even if you don't, you know, just go back and watch this video and play these little sections that I broke up for you, because you got to get the very basics down. Very basics are notes and rhythm. And I'm telling you, I see a lot of like comments about people, you know, they'll leave some comments on some of the intermediate stuff. And the questions they're asking, you can totally tell they don't have the basics figured out. You need to work on the basics. You need to work on the fundamentals. So if note reading and, you know, rhythm is an issue for you, then, you know, like you're going to be spending most of your time on that, which is okay. But make sure you get these basics down first before moving on to these other concepts we're talking about, like accents and, you know, even dynamics, okay? You got to be ready for it. All right, let's do it from the beginning. I'm going to skip the repeat, okay? Here we go. Damn. All right, I keep thinking it's a D major. That's what it was. All right, let me go back. Let's do it for reals this time. Maybe a little faster. Allegretto. Okay, sorry about that. I just have a really bad copy. It's mixing up those notes. Anyways, that's it for today. Actually, if you want to join me on Wednesday, I'm gonna do a free version of this. There's a free version available. It's on my YouTube channel as well. So if you don't have, if you're not able to get the sheet music, let's say you're dead broke. I understand, we've all been there, right? There's a free version you can check out this Wednesday. In my opinion, I say 99% of the time, the paid option is better, because when you pay for it, like these people, like if they're getting sales on it, then they know how to really arrange things the right way. The problem with free versions of stuff, and the reason why I don't do a lot of those tutorials, is because the arrangements suck. But actually, this Wednesday, the arrangement is pretty decent. So if you want to check that out, it's really similar, same key, I think, and all that, intermediate level. So, if you want the free version, make sure to check that out on this Wednesday. Anyways, that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you learned something today, please consider giving this video a like, and I will see you guys at my next lesson. Have a great rest